hasn't been great. He hasn't even been good. He's shown promise. If we want to level it out, Jackson Dart hasn't been great, and he ain't been good at all. He sucked today. Cam Ward ain't been great really either. The one rookie quarterback that's been great is Tyler Shuck. We just don't really talk about him. Tyler Shuck got 4 wins on the season, 3 losses. Like, he's actually been great. Shedeur's been a guy. He's been a guy. He's been a rookie. My tension with Shedeur is this. Shedeur just doesn't have the luxury of not being great because of where he was drafted. Cam Ward's number 1 overall. Cam Ward's starting next year regardless. Tyler Shuck, he's played great. He's going to be okay. Jackson Dart's a first-round pick. Jackson Dart is starting next year regardless. Shedeur, your team has, I believe, 2 first-round picks. So of all the quarterbacks that need to be great, unfortunately for Shedeur, Shedeur's the one that has to be playing great because he has the least invested in him, and he just hasn't been great. Offensive line, they were bad. Quinshon Judkins, he got hurt. Shedeur's out there doing it with a rookie Harold Fannin, with a rookie Isaiah Bond, and with Jerry Jeudy as his number 1. So, let's add context to the entirety of the conversation. But the NFL is a results-oriented league, and right now, Shedeur is getting no better results than Dylan Gabriel was. So the fact of the matter is, he just hasn't been great. Truly, he hasn't been good. He has shown promise.
Hello and welcome to the new Sports Spin channel. Hope everyone is having a great holiday season, and thank you for joining. I'm Sun-EB7. You saw the video in the front. I just wanted to give a couple of takes on that. So the takes that Acho does, of course, he's auditioning for a job, so of course he's going to make those kind of takes. But there's a lot of people that buy into that. And I don't know if I can reach them, but I will have it on here in case somebody wants to know. Those takes are really, if he's trying to get a new job with the networks, well, hopefully if you get one, you stay on it this time. You keep your personal life, and your business, your work life, your work life. That being said, those takes are terrible. But they're not terrible as in, it's not personal. I'm just basically saying, when you say things like, he's not good, that not only sounds like you don't know what you're talking about, it sounds like, it sounds personal. Now, maybe it's not. Here's a guy that came out. He's what you call a 5th rounder, because that's that pacifier. That's that stuff y'all go to every time. Every time y'all try to, see, this kid is playing better than you want him to play. So you have to run back to, he's a 5th rounder. That's his talking points. Hammer it home, he's a 5th rounder. Let me tell you something. I'm going to go here right now. You know how many times I've been on the court? I'm 5'9". Okay? You know how many times I've been on the court, on the football field or the baseball diamond and got picked last? Just about all of them when nobody knew me. But it never happened twice. Yeah, so I understand when people try to use that. Can you imagine what I would think if you told me, you're a 5th rounder? I would eat you alive. I would make you eat that crap. Because how you pick me does not determine who I am. We all know that. These are men, not horses. So, having said that, I don't like when he keeps coming up with this 5th round shit, but then the minute he plays well, I was giving him love. Ain't nobody need love from you. We just need you to tell the truth. Damn. I mean, is that so hard? And I guess the channels nowadays, it comes down to, can I honestly make a good channel with good content if I ain't saying something that people want to choke me for? And maybe that's the key. And maybe that's what I need to do, say something that make people want to, no. I say what it is. And if people don't like that, that's their problem, not mine. We all have choices. The fact of the matter is this. You're grading a kid on a scale that you don't even understand. None of those quarterbacks you mentioned in your video didn't have snaps with the first and second teamers until game 6, 7, 8, whenever he got in against the Ravens. That was his first snap with the first and second team. Did any of those other quarterbacks have that? You can say it's because they were drafted higher. I thought you guys knew what you were talking about. I thought that you evaluated talent. I thought that if you played, if you were good, if you showed you were good, that you would grade them on that scale, not some emotional mumbo jumbo where you say, "Oh, but he really don't." Oh, but he's continuing to prove everybody, not everybody, but those doubters lies. And so, watching this and seeing him put out that hyperbole is a little painful. I gotta admit, but I'm not going to change. If I see somebody like that I think should be, he's speaking to the people. You have a responsibility. You had one in football. Now, you didn't play that long, so I don't know how well you held it up. But you have a responsibility here. You say what it is, right? You look at those guys from all the smoke. They say what it is. I don't fact check them and make sure that all of them that they're always telling the truth. But I can tell you, they ain't gonna let you do that to one of theirs. And I'm not talking about one of theirs is in culture. I'm talking about one of theirs is in basketball players. If you can play, they're going to say it. And if you can't play, they're going to say that too. But none of this. You won't see that. So I have respect for them. I don't get to watch them as much. I have other things I have to do. And like I said, maybe that's what draws the clicks, the bait. And so that gets people watching. But it's kind of painful to watch someone that's supposed to have... now, don't get me wrong, Shady McCoy, he's going to hold it down. If he likes somebody, that's it. He's going to say what it is. He ain't going to hold back. And so, again, if this is the agenda of the channel, it is what it is. But it gives me an opportunity to come in and say, with my experience, because there's people all over the world with experiences that nobody knows about. If we don't speak up, then you don't never know. But I know people that know. Yeah, you seen me get picked last once. You ain't never seen me get picked last twice. Because I'll eat you alive. Because that right there is it goes against me. So I'm saying that to say the NFL, whether they pick you first or last, that doesn't dictate who you are. You're using media speak to trash a person, to bring them down. That's what that is. Just because I picked a guy fifth, that means he can't play? Then why did I pick him? Yeah. So somebody's lying. And we all know that. This is about media. This is not about the NFL and Shedeur. This is about media. This stuff goes all the way back to Colorado. It's about media. So I'm sad that we have to be partake in or witness all this media bull. I mean, because that's what it's about. I mean, if they got a problem with Shedeur, they don't have to go to the NFL. And if you say, well, if it's about the media and Sanders, why is the NFL doing it? Well, it's simple. The way the NFL got to be this big is because of the media. They're reporting, they're highlighting, they're showing it all over the world. That made the NFL what it is. So guess what? You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. If they ask the NFL to bench a player, you think they're going to go against that? Yeah, probably not. Your biggest conglomerate is ESPN, right? If ESPN asked the NFL, who they cover them ad nauseum, if they ask them to do them a favor, you think they're not going to do it? The NFL don't have a problem with Deion. It's never been a problem between the Deion and the NFL. He played like 16, 17 years in the league. If they had a problem with him, you think he'd have played that long? Who do you know played that long that the NFL had a problem with? Yeah, NFL doesn't have a problem with him. Mel Kiper Jr. is the genius behind the talent scouting. He said that's a top 3 pick. And then he said that should be the first pick taken. And then they picked him 5th and said, oh, that's what he is. He's 5th round because we picked him 5th round. But he's playing better than any quarterback you showed this year. You had about 7, 8 quarterbacks in camp this year. And none of them has played as good as he has. and he hadn't even played with the first team or the second team. You got this coach running around with agendas. Yeah, so I said it before, it's kind of a shit show, but hey, what can I say? This is the way the media is nowadays. This is how people, I think, like I said earlier, you have a responsibility to tell it what it is. I know everybody's after the almighty dollar and the clicks and all that. And maybe that's just the way things should be. It shouldn't be that way. But that said, you just hate to see the kid go through this much. First of all, how big a bully do you have to be to surround this kid with a lot of people that's trying to get him for nothing? The media practically owns the NFL. Now, they don't own them per se. But if they don't cover the games, the NFL lose money or don't get any. So you check out which one is more important. The NFL plays games, but the UFL, that's a league too. Why you think they don't compete with the NFL? The media is not going to cover them. If the media covered them just as much as they did the NFL, they would rise to fame. That's how the AFC got. The AFL and the NFL joined back in the 60s because why? The AFL started playing some really good ball and got really competitive. They were the first, what you call that offense? They were the ones that came out with the high-powered, long pass, Hayden, Snake. They came with those teams that was throwing long balls. The NFL was the NFC, which was the NFL, was Green Bay, Chicago, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That's what they were playing. They were playing 13-10 games, while the AFL was playing 35-28 games. So they were getting a lot of attention. Why you think the NFL joined with them? That's why they joined, because they were going to be fighting for supremacy, right? So that's where your Mike Sables and those guys were born. Calling the NFL games, doing the highlights. When I was young, I never watched the game. I watched the highlights because I liked them better. I liked Sable. Now I watched Monday Night Football because those guys were superstars. Cosell and Garrett. I think his name was Garrett, the quarterback for the Giants way back. Anyway, those guys, they were really good. But other than that, yeah. So the media is a big part of the NFL. And without the media, NFL probably would lose a lot of ground in the marketplace. Or reverse it and say if the NFL covered other leagues as much as they cover the NFL, and the way they cover the NFL, the NFL will have some competition. Because don't think there ain't other people out there that want to buy teams. And they're sick of waiting on the NFL to add 2 teams every 30 years or 20. So anyway, I just got on here because of the take that he had. And also I want to get into doing some shows a couple times a week. I'm probably not going to overdo it. I don't like talking about the same thing every day. And right now, until this Shedeur thing dies down, there's really not much to talk about because nobody wants to hear it. Now, actually, it's not even news compared to it. So having said that, thank you for joining and watching me spin it. And this issue has been spun. Until next time, take care.